William Throsby Bridges was one out of the 2,071 soldiers awarded for the second highest medal for gallantry, bravery, and valor. Under his leadership, over 20,000 men of the Australian Imperial Force were conducted into World War I. Born on the 18th of February 1961 in Greenock, Scotland, as the son of William Wilson Somerset Bridges, a Royal Navy captain, along with his Australian mother, Mary Hill Throsby. At age 17, after receiving his military qualifications, Bridges had dropped out of college and shortly arrived at Sydney, where his parents had migrated to, and joined the civil service. 20 years later, Bridges served in the Boer War in South Africa, along with the British Army, and soon was evacuated out. After becoming the first Chief of General Staff, founding an Australian military college, and later becoming a Major General, he was tasked to lead the 1st Division into Anzac Cove in 1915. 3 days later, he was shot and registered dead on May 18th. Throsby Bridges had many foundational steps over the course of his military career that established the many contributions he had made to forging Australia's identity. It was June 27, 1911, and Throsby Bridges had just established the Royal Military College of Dundry. Through his service, education, and career, he had laid the foundation and groundwork for the future of Australian military education. Bridges frequently embodied a sense of national pride, leadership, and professionalism that was dedicated towards his military duties. He emphasized this through his institution, which adopted his importance of discipline, setting high standards across the Australian military, and refining Australia's position within the British Empire. Additionally, Bridges shaped Australia's national military presence through the establishment of the Australian Imperial Force, where he had organized and trained military members as a Major General. Ultimately, Bridges had marked a significant milestone in the development of Australia's identity through unrelenting leadership during his military career and his push for military education, as well as his contributions within Australia's wars, like the Second Boer War, and his focus on professionalism, along with his high status that left him as a remarkable figure that greatly contributed to Australian identity.
Bridges' legacy can be naturally shown from his achievements. Climbing his way up from the point of his life when he failed to graduate the Royal Military College to the point where he was promoted to be the first commander of the new Australian Imperial Force, leading 20,000 men overseas to Egypt and were organized as a 1st Australian Division. In World War I, his troops committed to the fighting on the Western Front after finishing their hard amount of training. His legacy stands strong even to this day, since he was one of the first to command on the Anzac Cove, leading the Gallipoli campaign with others. Bridges died of wounds shot from a sniper, where he was inspecting the front line of the battle as usual. His body was returned to Australia, being the only identified Australian who died in World War I to have his body retrieved and buried on Australian soil. Sir William Throsby Bridges is memorialized by a tablet in the Church of St. John the Baptist in Canberra, and his legacy shown brightly throughout Australia's history and military lineage. William Westerman, a professor in the University of New South Wales, wrote in his study about how Bridges had a lasting impact on the development of the Australian Army by becoming the first Australian to be promoted to the rank of Major General. He also brought professionalization to the Australian Army by being placed in a high status within the military board. In his study, he quotes that Bridges was instrumental in the development of the curricula at both institutions. As a chief of intelligence and a member of the Council of Defence, Bridges was arguably Australia's one of the most influential soldiers. He was an exceptional organizer and a brave soldier who cared about his men the best. Bridges' primary concerns about the Australian Army were the efficacy and the education of the soldiers. He argued that if the steps of education were not be taken seriously, it would not be very long before there would be no officers fit to train and administer forces in peace and to lead them into war.
Despite William Westerman's perspective, which depicted Bridges as a flawless man who achieved many first accolades as an Australian, according to Australian Dictionary of Biographies, it stated that Bridges was a shy and sensitive man. he attempted to mask himself behind an aloof, diffident, and sometimes rude manner. He was therefore not a popular commander, though his personal courage was respected. The website states that Bridges had many enemies and that he was not a popular commander due to his shy personality, but all he undertook was stamped with his success of revolutionizing the Australian military standards. As it finally writes, his death in the war caused his career and achievements to slip from public view, but he can rightfully be regarded as Australia's first notable general. Thank you for listening.